Hi guys, and welcome back to the Aspiring Home Cook. My name is Trisha, and in today's video I'm going to share with you two recipes for making some delicious fried mackerels. Mackerels have just started coming into season here. I happened to spot some of them at my local fishmonger and I just had to pick up a few. So I'm going to show you two ways, one with a Reshad masala and one with just a couple of powdered spices. The Reshad masala version is really popular in Goa and in Goan households. Personally, I love Reshad masala, but I prefer my mackerels or bangras done with just a couple of simple spices. I'm going to share that recipe with you as well today. I've already shared a recipe for Reshad masala in the past. If you haven't seen that video already, I'm going to leave a link to it right here so that you can check it out later. Before we move on to the recipe, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel, and once you do, don't forget to click that little bell icon right next to it so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. So let's go on over to the kitchen and get started. Start off by cleaning your fish. I got mine cleaned at the fishmongers itself. I'm just trimming off a few of the fins that are left behind. We're going to start with the Reshad version. Now for this, I'm going to make an incision on the side like you can see right here. So starting just above the bone, I'm going to slit right through the center. You don't want to cut through to the other side, but you just want to make a little pocket in there to stuff your Reshad masala. And I'm going to do this on both sides of that bone. Now the first step and the most important step is seasoning your fish well. It's not only important to season the outside of the fish, but we're going to put a little bit of salt in those pockets that we've created and right down the center like you can see here. I'm going to do the same thing with a little spritz of lemon juice. Now I'm not going to go too crazy with this because our Reshad masala has been ground in vinegar, so that has got a fair amount of tanginess to it. And you're going to insert a little bit of that Reshad masala into those pockets that we've created on the side of the fish. And some of the masala goes on the outside of the fish as well. I'm just going to make sure that that masala has spread evenly on the outsides and there's no major clumps of masala in one spot, because any large clumps of the masala tend to burn faster. Okay, that's it. Your fish has been marinated. You're going to set this aside for about 10 to 15 minutes just so that those spices get into the fish. Now while the Reshad Bhangra is marinating, I'm just going to do another quick and easy spice rub for the other two mackerels. Personally, this is my favorite way to enjoy mackerels. I hope you like it too. Now over here, we're just going to make about 2 or 3 slits across the body of the fish like you can see here, so that it cooks evenly and the seasoning gets right in there. Now, like we did for the first one, we're going to season the fish with salt and a little bit of lemon. I used a little extra lemon than I did the first time around because we're not using Reshad masala with this one. There's nothing worse than an under-seasoned fish in my opinion. And our spices, we're just going to use 2 spice powders. I'm going to use a little bit of turmeric, just going to sprinkle some over. Now the amount of powder that you use will really depend on the size of your fish. So just give it a little sprinkle, and we're going in with some red chili powder. Now what I'm using here today is a Kashmiri chili powder. It's fairly mild, but it has some nice vibrant color to it. You can use a spicier chili powder if you'd like as well. And I'm going to sprinkle both the spice powders on both sides of the fish like you can see here. Typically, I use a little more chili powder than I do turmeric powder, and I find that combination works really well. Now you're going to get in there and rub those spice powders all over the fish, making sure that you're using any of the lemon juice that has fallen on the plate. Coat that inside cavity as well, and make sure some of the spices get into those slits that you've made as well. This next step is something that my mother always follows, and I continue to do that to this day. We're going to sprinkle a little bit of chane ka atta or besan or chickpea flour over the fish. What this does is it gives it a nice hint of a crust and prevents the fish from sticking to your pan. It adds a nice flavor to the fish as well. It's not overbearing, you can't tell it's there, but when you eat it, you'll know the difference. So you just need a little sprinkling like you can see here, and You can rub this into the fish. If you need a little extra liquid to help it coat the fish, add a little bit of lime juice or just a few drops of water. You don't want to get everything soggy. You just want enough of moisture there to coat your fish. And like you can see here, it's not like a batter that you dip your fish into. It's just a little something extra in the marinade. And that's it. You're now going to just set it aside again for another 10 to 15 minutes to let those flavors develop. Now, when you're ready to fry, you're just going to heat a pan on some medium heat. And you're going to add a little oil to the pan. Now it's important to take a pan that the fish will fit in. If you'd like to, you can also cut that fish in half before marinating it and serve them as smaller portions. The fish that I have today are fairly small, so I'm just going to leave them whole. I'm going to start off by frying just the plain spiced ones because they don't have a very prominent flavor like the Reshad version. And frying couldn't be simpler. You need to make sure that the oil is hot. So as soon as you drop the fish in the pan, you need to hear it sizzle. That's when you know that you've got the right temperature. Once your fish is in the pan, do not touch it. Don't be tempted to move it around. Don't be tempted to peek under. Just let it fry there till that crust develops on the underside. It usually takes a few minutes. If you disturb the fish while that crust is forming, I find that the skin tends to stick to the pan and just makes it hard to handle. After a few minutes have passed, just use your spatula and see if the fish comes away from the pan. If it comes away easily, you know that you've got that crust formed like you can see here. Take a little peek. If you're happy with the color, you're ready to flip the fish. If not, just leave it in the pan and let it continue cooking on that side a little. Flip the fish over and you're going to continue cooking it on the second side. Now, if at any time you find your pan looks a little dry, you can add a tiny splash of oil to the pan to help it fry. The oil in the pan will help that crust develop really well. And in the same way, you're going to cook it off on the second side as well. Once the fish is cooked on both sides, I'm going to take a little peek just to make sure that I'm happy with the color. And what you see on the fish right here is that little crust that I'm talking about that the chickpea flour adds to the fish. And it gives you a beautiful light crispiness to the skin. My fish is ready. I'm happy with the way it looks, so I'm just going to take it out on a plate now. And this is what the simple pan-fried mackerel looks like. Gorgeous color on the outside. The fish has cooked through beautifully. I'm going to serve this with a little simple salad on the side. And keep watching, and at the end of the video, I will include a little bonus recipe for this simple salad. Now, we're going to eat this along with some beautiful rice and fish curry, but this goes beautifully with some dal and rice. Or you can just enjoy it by itself if you're trying to have a lighter meal. In the same way, you're going to continue frying your Reshad Bhangra. I'm going to add a little more oil because there's not much left in the pan. Your oil has got to be nice and hot. Remember, you need to hear that sizzle when you put the fish in. And in go my mackerels. And just like we did before, we're going to cook it on both sides till it develops a nice color and the fish is fully cooked through. And here we've got our beautiful Reshad Bhangra or mackerel stuffed with Reshad masala ready to be served. Serve this nice and piping hot and sit back and relish the taste. And guys, here's how I make my simple salad. I've just got an assortment of salad ingredients here. I've got a little onion that I've sliced. This is some beautiful white onion that's less pungent and more mellow in flavor. I've got some grated carrot, a little capsicum sliced. You can use red peppers, you can use yellow peppers if you've got them. I've got some thinly sliced cabbage, some tomato without the seed, and some sliced cucumber. Now over here, I've got a little finely chopped cilantro or fresh coriander. All I'm going to do is sprinkle some salt to taste. Squeeze a little lemon juice or lime juice on the top. Make sure you don't get any seeds in there like I did. And just mix everything through. Check for seasoning at this stage. Add more salt or lemon if you need to. I like a little extra lemon here so that it's nice and tangy and it cuts through the richness of the fish. Another quick toss and your salad is ready to serve. I hope you enjoyed today's video, guys. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share this video with family and friends that you think might enjoy it too. Thank you so much for watching today, guys. I'm going to see you really soon with another delicious recipe. So till then, take care. Bye.